Hello. Okay, so for our watercolorists, I've prepared this for you because in the coming weeks there's going to be a lot of talk about all of the different things that acrylic painters or technically oil painters can paint on, but I think that there's a lot of really amazing things that can be done with watercolor. So I found this book at a thrift store. It's called Story Writing, and this is something that I've had for years and years now. But when I got it, I just was like, okay, I'm gonna do some kind of bookmaking artistic intervention. And it was when I had first started using watercolor and I was just trying to test things out, like how did they look layered up? What was it like to kind of play with the things that were already in the book? So you can just see that I moved through here. Just tried to place mark some of these. And sometimes I would just get really lucky, you know, like it was just a totally blank page and it would say time. It's like, okay, that feels adequately poetic. And you can see I'm just experimenting with color. You can see on the edges, I'm trying to figure out what is it like when I layer it up and slowly build up that color. This is a point too where I'm like really into stylizing figures. I'm maybe just mostly interested at this point, like the way that colors are relating with each other. I was really interested in these big blank spots. But what I would say is if this seems interesting to you, you should consider maybe altering a book or building a book of your own watercolors, which is something that I'll talk with you more about if you're interested. Happy painting. So this is a pad of Arches watercolor paper, and I just wanted to demonstrate for my watercolorists how you take a piece of watercolor paper off the block. So you can see I've got some paint down here on the block. Sometimes I paint with acrylics on here too. But basically the watercolor block holds your paper together so that it'll stay flat. So I have a rough grain paper because I really like to have all those little divots where my watercolor can really sink in. And it's pure cotton. It's 140 pounds. It comes with 20 sheets. It is kind of pricey paper, but oh my gosh, it's beautiful and it's fun to work with. So I've forgotten to bring over my palette knife, which is what I need. So don't be scared, everyone. This palette knife is totally dry, and you'll see it says removing sheets by inserting palette knife here. So there's a little spot for you to get into the block. And so what you're gonna do is just really take aim and insert your palette knife, and then you just run it along the side of the block. Sometimes I use a sharper blade, like an X-Acto knife, but every once in a while I end up kind of cutting the paper, and then I feel upset by that. So what you do is just go all the way around the edges. Sometimes it gets stuck just a little bit, and then you can pull. And I'm just removing this top one because this is a sketch for something that I won't be using right now. But you can see, you can remove it. Oh my gosh, I was wrong. Okay, never listen to me. Always clean your materials really well. That little bit of peach has gotten on here. But I suspect I'm still gonna be able to use this paper just fine.